everybody. This is our first installment of Tooth Talk Tuesdays with Carmel Pediatric Dentistry. Today, we're going to start with the basics. We're going to talk about toothpaste. I get a lot of questions in the office from parents about when do I start using toothpaste? What kind do I use? What's the best for my kid? All those kinds of things. So we're going to talk about it today. So next time you're in, you'll know what to do. So the first thing is the ADA recommendation on when to start using a fluoridated toothpaste for your child. The recommendation is a little bit confusing because the recommendation changed about a year ago, actually in 2015, to say that all children, as soon as the first tooth erupts into the mouth, which can be between 4 and 6 months, should start using a fluoridated toothpaste. I know a lot of parents are a little surprised by that. The reason they changed that recommendation is because we're still seeing so many kids getting cavities at such a young age. We want to try to do everything we can to be preventative. So the other thing that changed about the recommendation is the amount of toothpaste on your toothbrush. So they changed the amount. They used to say a pea-size amount, which is actually a lot more than you would think, to what they're calling a grain of rice or a smear on the bristles of the toothbrush. So the recommendation now says as long as you're using a very small amount of that toothpaste, being a grain of rice size or smear on the bristles of the toothbrush, that is appropriate for a child to start using. What I usually tell my parents is I want your child to get the topical benefit of that fluoride. I want it to be soaking into their enamel and strengthening their tooth structure, but I don't want it to be too much that they're swallowing too much every day. So technically, according to the ADA, as soon as the first tooth erupts, we should start using a smear, a tiny bit of fluoride on that toothbrush. Again, you're going to be working on spitting as they're getting older, but using that small amount is okay to swallow as long as it's that smear on the bristles. If you're not comfortable using toothpaste at that young of age, they do make training toothpaste on the market, or fluoride-free toothpaste. You really have to look on the package to see that it says fluoride-free or safe to swallow. They market these for infants. There's really nothing in this that's cavity preventing. It just tastes a little bit better than water when you're brushing. So if you're apprehensive about using fluoride, or you haven't been to the dentist yet to talk about the recommendation and the amount of toothpaste to be using, you can use the training toothpaste if you feel more comfortable. But again, in order to be as proactive as possible in preventing cavities in kids and adults, using that small smear amount of fluoride toothpaste as soon as the first tooth erupts is going to be the most beneficial for your child. The next thing we're going to talk about is brands of toothpaste. I get a lot of parents asking, what is the best brand of toothpaste? What should I use? The truth is, once you start using a fluoride toothpaste, they all have the same amount of fluoride in them. So there's no brand that's better than others or worse than others. I tell a lot of parents to just base it on what their child likes the best, taste-wise. Some kids are a little more picky than others. Crest, Colgate make a lot of kid-friendly flavors. All of these are a fluoridated toothpaste. If they like this, you can pick it up anywhere. It's good for kids. My kids, actually, and others I've seen in the office, sometimes say that even the kids' flavors are spicy or they just don't really like those flavors. So I've had a lot of success with the Tom's brand. They make a fluoridated and a non-fluoridated toothpaste. I obviously prefer the fluoridated. They have a strawberry flavor that does a nice job cleaning the teeth, still has the fluoride in it with not a lot of the added ingredients and colors and dyes and things like that. So I usually recommend the Tom's brand if parents are interested in that. Recently, we've discovered some really great products called Tanner's Tasty Paste. Now, this was developed by a dental hygienist out in California, and there are a whole slew of flavors that they've come up with. This one is actually chocolate ice cream flavor. There's also vanilla cupcake and watermelon and cotton candy and all different kinds. And it tends to have a little more of a gel consistency. So parents who come in and say, my kids don't like the toothpaste, or they're super picky, they don't like any of the flavors, I'll send them online to look for this Tanner's Tasty Paste. I believe they carry it on Amazon. Lots of nice flavors, lots of good feedback from parents saying that finally my kids like to brush their teeth, and this is a fluoridated toothpaste, so we like that. So I think that is all you've ever wanted to know and more about your kids' toothpaste. Lots of good facts. If you have any more questions or comments or things you want me to answer, feel free to comment below and I'll try to respond as soon as possible to answer your questions. Tune in next month for another installment of Tooth Talk Tuesday. Bye.